This is my hallway, and it needs some fresh paint. I like when things feel fresh all the time, so I'm constantly updating, changing, rearranging, and dreaming up new opportunities. But I am becoming increasingly aware that my life will actually be changing very, very soon. Unfortunately, I tend to fall into the dramatics of romanticizing everyday life. I mean, here I am taking the mundane task of just a fresh coat of paint and deciding to instead make it an oral essay about all of the symbolism that it can have. Is that a little pathetic? I say no. Have you ever heard of journaling? It's like public journaling. And because it's so cathartic, I will be subjecting everyone to my musings, no matter how corny. I like the analogy of painting a white wall white because it doesn't symbolize change, but just freshness, and it's easy and it's comfortable. Freshness builds relaxation and peace. Although the work that it takes to get to that point won't necessarily harbor those same feelings. Our home is a panabode log home, so every square inch of the wall works as a stud. I think I'm actually the first person who's lived in this home who's heard of wood putty. So this is my first step, filling in the imperfections that other people have left. But not just other people. I've hung things up too and decided that they don't belong. But I think that the difference is that I'm choosing to take responsibility for the holes that I've made. This part is undoubtedly the most tedious. You don't get to experience any of the good feelings yet, and it takes a lot of hard work and requires a significant time to cure. Even after the wood putty is in, we still have to sand down the filler. It's messy and requires more cleanup, and after sanding, it actually looks worse than when you started. This home is not my responsibility. I am a renter. It is my landlord's responsibility to take care of this home. However, my peace is my own responsibility, and this is something that will bring me peace. So I'm willing to take on the burden of filling in someone else's mess so that I can still have peace. With literally zero symbolism intended, please do not paint your wood floor pieces. Now on to something a little more exciting. After all of that, you get to see your hard work starting to come through. The primer is kind of like a sneak peek of the fruits of your labor. Even though both are white and almost the same shade of white, we add primer before we paint because we need a good base for the paint to sit on. Without a primer, tannins would leach through the wood and eventually stain the paint that goes on top. But even though they're both white, we wouldn't want to leave just the primer because the primer alone, everything else will want to stick to it. It will pick up mud and debris and quickly soil, no longer being the fresh restart we had spent so much time working toward. We're finally on to the flashy part of this whole thing, adding the actual paint. You'll feel like you're making such big progress with huge brush strokes You'll fly through these areas because it's easy. Until you have to start getting into the details that will force you to slow down to do them correctly. Then once we've done the whole space, we go back and do it again. Doing it one time won't be enough to cover up what it used to be, and you don't have to look that close to see the old paint behind it. It will be easier this time around though. You'll have new tools that will make things go by a lot faster. The task feels a lot more comfortable now. You're probably gonna find some areas where you made a mistake and you didn't even realize it until you have to go back and clean it up. Then after all that, you're done. But why keep things the exact same? We could keep everything the same. It does feel a lot nicer already, but staying stagnant doesn't offer a whole lot to us. Change can feel overwhelming. It can immediately feel like a mistake, but trusting your judgment in a well thought out decision will save you. But why change? What is gained from change? I would say that the greatest gain would be the realization that just because something was comfortable does not mean it is the best you can do. Change does not have to be bold, although it can be. One thought I had was to paint the doors a deep plum. Undoubtedly, I would have loved this, but ultimately I decided to go against it, only because it wouldn't really fit with the rest of the home. Beige is safe, although finding the right beige was not as simple as I anticipated. I had to check the lighting in all the rooms, held the samples up against the furniture, and found the ones that would complement the floors. The change had to fit in all parts. Even the paint used in this step is different. It requires a lot more care when handling. It's not as easy to clean up if you spill or paint over something. It doesn't apply as smooth as the other types of paints, and it takes an extremely long time to cure. But the effort of change is worthwhile in